Occupying public places like Shaheen Bagh not acceptable. Supreme Court. Delhi's Shaheen Bagh had emerged as the epicenter of anti-car protests last year, where the protesters, mostly women and children, sat for more than 3 months. Protesters cannot occupy public places indefinitely, the Supreme Court said this morning in a hugely influential verdict on a batch of petitions against the anti-citizenship law protests at Delhi's Shaheen Bagh over the contentious Citizenship Amendment Act (CA) that cleared the parliament last year. Dissent and democracy go hand in hand, the top court observed, stressing that protests like these are not acceptable. We have to make it clear that public places cannot be occupied indefinitely, whether in Shaheen Bagh, in Delhi, or elsewhere. These sort of protests, like Shaheen Bagh, are not acceptable, and the authorities should act. They must keep such spaces free from obstruction, the top court said, adding the administration cannot wait for orders from court to clear the protest sites. We appreciate the right to peacefully protest, and it can be held at designated places only, the court stressed. A 3-judge bench of Justices S.K. Kaul, Anuradha Bose, and Krishna Murari delivered the judgment on a batch of petitions that called for a decision if there can be an indefinite period of protests in a common area that creates inconvenience for others. The bench had reserved its verdict at the last hearing on September 21. We have to balance the right to protest and blocking of roads. In a parliamentary democracy, protests can happen in parliament and on roads. But on roads, it has to be peaceful, the bench had said at the time. The court had earlier noted that there cannot be a universal policy, since circumstances may vary from case to case. Delhi's Shaheen Bagh had emerged as the epicenter of anti-car protests last year, where the protesters, mostly women and children, sat for more than 3 months. The Shaheen Bagh protests had received worldwide attention, and the Time magazine honored 82-year-old Bilkis Dadi, the face of the movement, as one of the 100 most influential people of 2020. Critics have said the contentious citizenship law, which the government says enables citizenship for non-Muslims from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan if they escaped religious persecution and entered India before 2015, is anti-Muslim. A massive wave of protests had swept the nation against the CA before the novel coronavirus pandemic forced a majority of population indoors, and the government announced one of the world's strictest lockdowns in March.